Hey there, it's Kevin Davis from Detailers Helper, and today I want to talk to you quickly about discounts and discounting your services. Most of the time the videos that I do come out of conversations that I've had on the forums or on one of the Facebook groups or people asking me questions, and this is no exception. Had a discussion yesterday on one of the Facebook groups talking about discounting services for their gift certificates, and so I thought it'd be a good opportunity for at least cover some of the caveats with doing discounting. I personally, and I think there are quite a few that agree with me, do not like discounting services, primarily because what you're doing is you're attracting a certain type of customer, and you're also training your existing customers to expect those discounts. I mean, I make a physical product, obviously, and the thing is a little bit different with physical products in terms of discounting and doing specials. And, you know, we did a Black Friday deal, a Cyber Weekend deal, and wasn't that great of a huge discount, but we do deals now and then. But it's a little bit different when you talk about services, especially services that are really considered a luxury item like detailing. So let's talk just a little bit about what you're facing when you do discounting. So let's say that you typically charge $150 for a detail, and I'm not going to use words like complete detail. Let's just say an extensive detail is $150. So for the month of December, you're trying to sell more gift certificates, and so what you do is you offer a deal where that $150 detail only costs, let's just make it simple, $100. So you're basically giving a third off, 33% off, in order to sell more gift certificates. So there's a couple of problems with this, and I pointed this out on the group yesterday. But first problem is that you're trading today's cash for work that you're going to have to deliver later at a lower rate than that later amount would typically be. So you're trading $100 cash now for work that is effectively going to cost you $150 later to deliver, because that's the opportunity cost of what you would actually charge someone for doing that work later. So that's sort of the first problem with doing gift certificate based sales. And I realize that it's a little bit different because it's oftentimes different people are buying the gift certificate than are actually collecting on the gift certificate. So that's a little bit of a different thing. But in terms of cash management and time management, especially if you're a busy shop and you can physically fit all of the work that you can do only fits in a certain amount of time. So that's if you're not running 3 or 4 guys and that sort of thing. So just realize that anything that you're going to sell now as far as gift certificates, that has to come from that time at a later date. So just be hesitant in discounting that, because that effectively is going to cost you money in the long run, even though you might sell a few more now than you ordinarily would. The second thing about discounting is that you actually are attracting customers that are more price sensitive than you may want them to be. In other words, there may be a different set, and we talked a bit about this on my bargain hunters type video and some of the pricing videos that I did, so you can go back and review those. There may be some information here that I'm duplicating, but at any rate, you're gathering new customers that are at a certain price point. So let's say that you really want those customers that don't mind paying $150 for the details that you're doing, but really by offering it for $100, either discounting it now for gift certificates or discounting it just in general for specials, for whatever. It doesn't have to be for gift certificates. You're actually attracting customers that only value that service at $100. And so what that does is that attracts a different level of customer than what in my opinion, you typically want for your services. So if that $100 is really where your price point is, and then the $150 is just if you can get it, then that's a little bit of a different equation. But if you believe that you're worth $150, then charge $150 and attract customers that are willing to pay $150. In the pricing discussion, we talked a little bit about how market works and what price people are willing to pay, and that whole equation. But we're assuming that you do have a market that is willing to pay $150 per detail, at least enough for you to make a living at that. So the way I see it is I'd rather do, a third as many details every week at $150 than do a third more details every week at $100. So because you don't have to do as many details to make the same amount of money. And then the third thing with discounting your services is you're actually training your existing customers and new customers to expect you to discount, so they don't have any value. They don't give any value to the prices that you're doing, because if they say, well, I see $150 on your website, or you've told me $150, but if I just wait long enough, 2 or 3 weeks, a month or whatever, I know I can get that same service for $100. So they see that service as only worth $100, not $150 like you believe it's worth. So you're essentially training the market to expect you to discount your products, and they're also that changes that whole value proposition that we've discussed in the past. It actually makes your services worth less. So okay, so basically what I'm saying is don't discount your services. I'm not a fan of doing that. The way to do it is to actually do a different scenario where you're actually adding services to create more value for the customer at that same price point. So let's say that $150 detail includes interior, exterior, vacuum, wipe down, windows, etc., but it does not include, let's say for example, does not include extraction of cloth seats or extraction of the carpet. It may just be a spot clean or whatever. So I realize that different detailers do different things, but that's going to be our example. So let's say that if you do want to run a special, what you're going to do is you're going to still price at $150, but you're going to add value to that $150 service by adding a free, quote unquote, free carpet extraction, free cloth seat extraction, or free, if people have leather seats, free leather conditioning, which you may already do that, but you can add that as an additional service. Maybe you do headliner cleaning, headliner extraction or steam cleaning or whatever. There's tons of different services that are sort of these little a la carte services that you can add to the detail in order to add value. So you can do that across your whole service realm. Let's say that you have a detail that's $50, a detail that's $100, a detail that's $150. There's never, and I don't like to use the word complete because different people use different things for that, but there's different levels. So whatever your level that you're discounting or wanting to discount, simply add services to get maybe up to that next level. So there's lots of different options, but I'm more of a value add kind of a person instead of a discounter. So to summarize real quick, and I'm trying to make this quickly as possible, basically the net result is I don't want you to discount your services because I think it attracts the wrong customers. I don't want to discount your services because it takes money out of your pocket, and I don't want you to discount your services because it trains your customers and your market to expect lower prices. The way around that is to be able to run specials to where you add value to your existing stuff. The other thing with adding value that I forgot to tell you would be something like adding a maintenance wash as part of a full detail, not a complete detail, but an extensive detail package. So one way to do that, say that they come in, if you buy a full detail package, then I will throw in a maintenance package, a maintenance wash, which would just include, you know, maybe an ONR waterless wash or something like that, rinseless wash, within a couple of weeks of the original detail as a maintenance wash. So that's sort of a free thing. My wife, I was putting on the forum that my wife actually does this when she has her haircut. They do a full cut, color, all that stuff, and then she gets a free conditioning rinse within 10 days, 14 days of the time that she does her first service. So that's another thing that you can do. That also trains your customer trains your customer to come back for maintenance washes. It doesn't really cost you anything extra. It's going to be a quick wash, and you want to dictate to that customer that it has to be within a certain amount of time and within certain parameters. So if you did it today when it's sunny outside here in my area, if I did a complete / full detail, which I don't really like the word complete, but if I did a full detail on a car and then I said, well, come back and get a free detail wash, I don't want them to come back 3 weeks from now or after it's been snowing and the entire side of the thing is completely trashed. So there's parameters in there that you want to work around in order to make sure that you don't get screwed on the back end of that deal. So that's the other side of value add. Either you add additional a la carte services to what you're already doing, or add these maintenance wash. I mean, it can be tons of different things. So, All right, so that's sort of the deal on discounting prices. Don't discount your prices. You're worth what you're worth. You have to believe in what you're doing, and if you believe in it, if you deliver good service with integrity and you do a good job, then you can help your market understand what those prices mean for them, what value they get out of it, instead of always having them expect the whole McDonald's mentality where they want a dollar menu for your services. So I hope that helps. I'm Kevin Davis doing what I do so you can do what you do better.